and Noble.
I've missed hearing that. I've been gone a couple weeks.
I know. What's up with that?
Jeremy covered for me. Did he do well?
He did do a great
Yeah,
job while you were out.
I don't want to hear that. I want to did average.
Well, there's only one Noble McIntyre.
That's exactly right. Jeremy, you're average.
I want to hear that he's done average.
Speaking of Jeremy, he and I are leaving today. We're flying to Miami. We're going to the F1 races in Miami.
That's going to be awesome.
Which it is. I've never done that. I don't know a lot about it, but Jeremy, apparently that's a bucket list item. So when I told him one of our vendors wanted to take me, he said, well, it's a bucket list item. So I called and said, hey, can
I
Jeremy
bring him?
come? So they said yes. And unbeknownst to me, Jeremy got on Amazon. He ordered pull-ups. And I
Well,
asked
yeah.
him why. And he said he was so excited he was going to wet himself. He didn't want anybody to know. So he's going to be there all pull-upped up at F1.
See, this is thinking ahead, though. And
It
that's
is.
what you want in a lawyer.
I do. I want somebody
Preparing
that
for
thinks
every
enough ahead.
contingency
He's
that
gonna
could
have
happen.
pull-ups on in case he wets himself with excitement.
Yes. So if you're looking for lawyers that wear pull-ups or depend,
Jeremy Thurman is your man.
hey, welcome to Free Legal Advice Friday with McIntyre Law's Noble McIntyre. If you ever have a question, you can hit us up at asknoble@tylermedia.com. You can always get a hold of Noble or any of the gang at McIntyre Law at 777
7,000. There you go.
All right.
2 questions for him today.
Yeah, the first one today from our listener said, I was injured in an accident involving a farm truck pulling equipment that didn't have proper lights or markings. What are my rights?
It's a good question. A lot of people assume that farm implements and farm vehicles have a different set of rules. They don't. They still have to follow the same rules that the rest of us do. If you're going to operate at night, you have to have proper lighting. A lot of times, farm vehicles even have more restrictive rules because if they're like pulling a trailer with a combine down the road, the law requires them to have a trail vehicle with the little light on behind it.
Right.
You've all
The
seen
wide
that.
load
Yes.
The wide load
Yeah.
lights. And so you have the same rights that you would in any other crash. That vehicle is on the public roadway. It requires to have insurance to be out there. If they've done something in violation of the law that caused you to have a crash and be injured, your rights are exactly the same as if I had hit you. You make a claim against their insurance company and it gets adjusted the same way. And if you can't get it resolved, it will get tried the same way.
Okay,
Wow.
that is
So
good
nothing
to
changes.
know.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Here's the other one, and this is kind of interesting. If somebody rear ends me, but I already have a back pain issue going on before the crash, can I still make a claim?
It's a good question. We have that all the time because, as you know, we all have bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
And if you've lived long enough, you've been hurt before, and there's going to be something in your medical records that you've complained of before. The insurance company, you've heard me say this a million times, they're not your friend. They do not care about you, and they will look to anything they can to diminish how much they have to pay you or completely eliminate. So if you have a pre-existing back pain or back problem and you get hurt, the law allows you to collect to the extent that that was worsened. The problem you have is if you're currently treating, because I've had cases where somebody was in a crash 3 months ago, they're still treating for that crash. Now they have a crash now.
Okay.
And how do you distinguish between
Right.
the two? Because crash number 1 is not responsible for your new injuries, but crash number 2 is not responsible for your
your old
pre-existing
injuries,
injuries.
yeah.
Where it's tough is, and you need to, everybody out there listening, keep this in mind. People go into the doctor and they say, rate your pain on a scale 1 to 10. First of all, everybody puts a 10. You're not a 10 unless you're on fire.
Right.
I mean, it can always hurt worse. Be very careful about putting a 10. Here's why. If you put your a 10 and you're going through treatment and then you have another crash and you put your a 10,
No
the
wiggle
new
room
people are going
there.
to say, you're already a 10. We didn't increase it at all. So unless you're a 10, don't put a 10. Put I'm a 7. I'm an 8.
Right.
And then if something happens worse and it's worsened, you have ability to move up. But the law does allow you, to the extent you can prove it, to recover for the new increased injury and pain you're suffering.
Okay.
It's tough to prove it. It's going to be medical record dependent
I was
and
gonna say that.
testimony dependent. And what you do in that first crash or that first injury is going to help prove this one. So, yes, you can recover. It's more challenging, but it's not impossible.
And that's why we do this segment, so that you can say, okay, I'm going to call Noble because he's going to take care of me.
Yes, I will take great care
How
of you.
will he get a hold of us?
Well, they call the Jesus line, obviously.
777-7000.
And you've got all the area
All the area codes.
Yeah.
in
Yeah, so you
Oklahoma.
can dial
we have,
at any
we
of
have
them.
5 of them now. When I was a kid, we only had, 405?
Well, yeah, I think we had 2. We had
918
918
405. And then when 580 came out, I was like, oh man, a third one. Now we have 539 and 579. Those are weird.
You still got them all covered, though.
All of them are mine. All of them are mine. I'm going to hate it if we get a 6th one, because I know whoever gets on accident 777-7000 is going to charge me a fortune to buy it from them. They'll be like,
I'm not Noble McIntyre."
I was just given this great asset and I'm going to sell it to them for a fortune.
All right. Well, obviously, if you never can get a hold of them, you can always reach us too at asknoble@tylermedia.com. Noble, as always, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.